Hey, welcome back. Jeannie Lynch coming to you from Mean Gene 1963. I want you to finish a sentence today. You can lead a horse to water, but you just can't make it. I bet you think you know the answer. What would you do if I told you today that you're absolutely wrong about that? Stay watching, and for those managers, those leaders, those problem solvers, those caregivers, you might want to stay watching because it turns out there's a little bit more to a horse being thirsty. Stay watching. Hey, Jeannie Lynch, wrapping up today. We're getting into a conversation and it's, you can lead a horse to water, but you just can't make it. And guess what? Turns out you can make the horse drink. It's true, if you take that horse down to the water, down to the pail, and you get a little, aggressive with it, and you push and you project, maybe even push it a little bit, do you know you can absolutely make that horse drink? But here's what I want to talk about today. You cannot make that horse thirsty. So true. So why is that important? Because here we are, right? We're healers, we're helpers, we're parents, we're instructors, we're leaders, we're caregivers. And there's a lot of people out there who are, walking around and having a lot of questions and experiencing a lot of pain in their life. If we're not compassionate people, then we'd be oblivious to that. And we're not, I know that. But today, I really just want to add a little light or be mindful to the fact that sometimes in our attempt to be compassionate and in our attempt to be helpful and to be kind and caring, we solve people's problems. Basically, we tell them why they're thirsty or we make them drink. And that's what I want to talk about today. So to do that, I'm just going to go over like 5 quick things, but then I'm going to ask you to be involved in this conversation below. So you can leave comment. You can be involved in this conversation and you can even add to what I'm about to talk about or even disagree. I'm up for all. So let's get right into it. Only 5. Stay with me. Are you ready? Number 1. The first thing I would like you to do for the next 24 hours or even 5 days for extra credit is today's the last day you solve anyone's problems for at least the next 5 days. Wait till you find out just how much you absolutely solve people's problems by just giving yourself a little break from doing so. So what that means is that when someone shows up and they're, telling you what their problem is and they're looking for you for guidance because you know who those people are, you're going to have to tell them you're taking a little break from solving those problems and you're going to ask them what they need from you. That's the first step. Turns out maybe they just need you to listen. Maybe they don't need you to solve it at all, but they just wanted you to know what was going on. We're so busy, and this is the word, projecting. And I take a big second and a pause on that because this is something I will continually have to work on. After all, I'm Aries, right? Always trying hard not to project, especially being in a place of wanting to assist and help people. It is so easy to tell them what to do, what video to watch. The truth is, it's not my place to solve anyone's problems, okay? And it's not yours. So projecting is absolutely the wrong first step. So stop projecting, that's number 1. Number 2 is that if somebody comes to you and they're in a problem or, there's a conflict, okay? Instead of solving any problems for them, because we're already doing that, right? You have to ask 3 more questions. 3 more questions about their problem. And just keep it open-ended as we talk in sales, right? Keep it open-ended. And you will find that that person who you don't think is capable of making up their own problems or solving their own problems will absolutely figure it out for themselves, okay? And you might think what you thought the problem was isn't even what the real problem is. It's actually something else. So asking more questions, absolutely. Number 2, don't forget to do minimum of 3. Let's keep going. The next one, today, we're almost done. On 3, we're going to go deep. So when you're asking those questions, go deep and then go deeper. Oh yeah, did I mention go deep? You don't know how deep you actually have to go to truly find out why somebody is not drinking the water. So find out why they're not thirsty. Maybe you're solving the wrong problem, right? So number 3 is truly when you think you've asked all the questions, ask for more, right? To go as deep as you possibly can go. Number 4, stay with me. Give them choices. If you're working with somebody who truly is overwhelmed, uncertain, shaken up, they've had a life event, okay, and maybe what they need now is just, instead of 100 choices, they just need a few. My daughter used to do this when she was picking out clothes. You know, if I put out a couple outfits and gave her 2 choices, 3 choices, the mornings were perfect. If I gave her the whole drawer and just said, here, have at it, you go for it, it was not a good experience, right? So minimize the choices if somebody truly is overwhelmed or uncertain, okay? So make a couple choices for them. Can you do this by, can you let me know by Tuesday? If not Tuesday, what about Wednesday? Give people the out too. It also gives them the freedom to create and solve their own problems. Okay. So the last thing that I want to talk about before I end this conversation today is this deep, deep question. What happens if they're not thirsty at all? And that's okay, because here's why. If they're not thirsty, and we all know we need water to survive, there might be a bigger problem. A little pause on that. In the horse metaphor, how do you know that the horse doesn't have a problem with its hoof, and the shoe is off, and it's in tremendous pain, and it can't even think about drinking water until it solves that? So if you find somebody around you who, in this metaphor, we would say is absolutely not thirsty, I charge you or challenge you or I ask you with a beautiful, compassionate heart, stand behind them, put your hands on them, go deeper, ask lots of questions, give plenty of choices, okay, and don't solve it for them, but ask them straight up, how can I be of total love and support to you today? That's how I would like to end this today. And I assure you, if you can do that, and I don't care who that person is or what that contrast or conflict is, you ask a beautiful, open-ended, deep question like that, and you will get what you need in assisting them. This is Jeannie Lynch signing off. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget, trying to change the world one video at a time, and it starts with you liking, sharing, and building my community with me. Thanks again for being part of this channel. Namaste.